Well, here at the forum, we've just finished listening to Mr. Hammond, the Chancellor's budget, and some interesting things to come out of it, though it has to be said, not a lot for small business and for our members. So I think we'd probably only give him a 3 or 4 out of 10 for his efforts. What he did highlight is the fact that the outlook, the economic outlook, isn't quite as gloomy as was originally thought. But the point he did make is the level of debt we've got, and as he put it, that equates to about £62,000 per household in the UK, which meant they were going to, and they're not going to borrow, so they're going to have to get the money from somewhere. What they did say is that productivity for them is still the key for this government, which is interesting. It's exactly the same as Mr. Osborne said in his last budget. We talked about 4 or 5 key areas that we'd like the government to look at. There were 4 areas that they did address. One was business rates, but I don't think they handled them terribly well. What they have said is they're going to review the business rate process, but that's going to be done within the next 5 years before the next review. So again, we've got to wait and see, as with a lot of these things, what the detail is. We know that those coming out of tax relief will at least get their raises capped to no more than £50 a month, so £600 a year. It's a small bit, but it helps. Again, for the pubs, there was a little bit of help in there. If the rateable value was less than £100,000, they were going to get £1,000 help, and he said that was about 90% of the pubs. But it's still a small amount, and there's going to be about £300 million in terms of a fighting fund that'll be distributed around the economy to the various authorities. But again, they didn't really say how they were going to do that. So business rates, not terribly good. In terms of reward and rewarding entrepreneurship, which is something that for our members is a big deal. And there really does feel like there's nothing there for entrepreneurs. National insurance was going up. So as well as all the other costs that we've had to take on, they've gone up. Yes, there's a reduction in corporation tax. That doesn't really hit many of our members. Your tax allowance has gone up. Dividend, we said that we'd like to see the dividend rate put back up to nearer £10,000. He's actually reduced it to 2. So if you are taking all the risk and setting up a business, you can't take a lot of money out of it without paying quite a heavy tax burden on it. Vehicle excise duty stays the same. That's got to be good news if you're running vehicles. R&D tax credit administration was going to be reduced, but again, he didn't say what that'd look like. So all in all, unless you're in the technology sector, which seems to be getting an awful lot of help and support, not really good news for small businesses. Skills, there was a lot in there about education, and of course, we do welcome that, as long as the skills that they're looking at, that they're working with business to make sure that the skill shortages are being addressed by the training and education that comes out. They've got to be working together on that one. The final one I can think of there is balance. We've talked about a more balanced economy. They did talk about the Northern Powerhouse, the Midland Engine, money going to Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Again, that's got to be welcomed. But a final thought really from myself, looking at this on behalf of forum members, is in the time when the government should really be looking at working more closely, more hand in hand than ever before with small businesses, either through a lack of understanding or just an ignorance of how small businesses work, we seem to be putting pressure on the small business sector where more and more people will be leaving it. To be quite frank, this kind of budget says, why be self-employed? Why not go out and get a job? And that is a concern for us at a time when we really do want to get Britain trading.